Welcome to Mishna study with Masechet Demai, Perek Dalet, Mishna Aleph. Over here, we're going to move on to a person who bought fruits. He owns fruits, and now he wants to know: are these fruits, trusted? Do I have to separate? He obviously has to separate Demai, but now there comes a scenario where he may not be able to, and that's going to be on Shabbat. We know we're not allowed to fix things on Shabbat, and one of those things we're not allowed to fix, metaken, is even correcting and fixing tevel, separating Trumot and Ma'asrot and making them metukan, making them something that's edible. So we're not allowed to do that on Shabbat. And over here, our Mishnah is going to speak about if someone bought fruits before Shabbat and now Shabbat entered, what can he do? הלוקח פירות ממי שאינו נאמן על המעשרות ושכח לעשרן, שואל לו בשבת ואוכל על פיו. חשכה מוצאי שבת, לא יאכל או לא יאכל עד שיעשר. כן, לא מצאו, אמר לו אחר ממי שאינו נאמן על המעשרות מאוסרין הן, אוכל על פיו. חשכה מוצאי שבת, לא יאכל עד שיעשר. So if a person buys fruits from someone who's not trusted over Ma'asrot, and he forgot to separate Ma'asrot before Shabbat. Now Shabbat enters, he can't eat now. What does he do? So Hachamim allowed him over here to ask this person that he bought it from, the store owner. He sees him in Knis on Shabbat, goes up to him, and says, did you separate Ma'asrot from this? If he says yes, I separated Ma'asrot, we trust him, even though he's an Am Haaretz. Ve'ochel al piv, you're allowed to eat based on his word. Based on what came out of his mouth, we trust what he says. Now, why? So Rambam explains over here, based on the Talmud, the emat Shabbat alav, the fear of Shabbat is upon him. Meaning what? Even for an Am Haaretz, when it's Shabbat, there's something that comes with it that he's scared to lie on. It's Shabbat today. I'm not gonna lie. So we trust this person when we ask him on Shabbat, what are these fruits? Did you separate? When I bought these fruits from you on Friday, yesterday, did you separate the Trumot and Ma'asrot? He says yes. He answers yes on Shabbat. We trust him. But now, Shabbat, Saturday night comes after Tzeta Kochavim. Right? Rambam says even Ben Hashmashot, you're allowed to eat it. After Tzeta Kochavim comes, he's not allowed to eat from these fruits until he separates Ma'asrot. Right now, you could fix it. So go ahead and fix it. Right? We don't use the statement that this person told us on Shabbat that they were me'usad, even though we're allowed to eat them on Shabbat. We can't go ahead and continue eating them on Motzei Shabbat. We need to take care of it now. Now, Amar lo acher, someone else comes. He can't find the store owner. Someone else comes and sees him who's not trusted on Trumot and Ma'asrot. He's not someone who you can rely on to separate Trumot and Ma'asrot. And he comes and says, I know that these me'usar. I know that the store owner separated Trumot and Ma'asrot, ochel al piv. You could also eat based on, his testimony. Again, hashcha motzei Shabbat, but motzei Shabbat comes. You can't eat from those until he separates Ma'asrot. Now, Rambam points out, why do we need both these statements, first half and second half of the Mishnah? Why is it important to mention to us, once we say you could ask the store owner, why is it important to us to mention that you're also trusting, someone else? What's the hidush over here? So Rambam explains that when we speak about the second half of the Mishnah, we could have thought that when we trust someone, right, you're trusting someone on, for the Shabbat. Motzei Shabbat comes, we can't trust them anymore. What about the second half of the Mishnah? The second half of the Mishnah, it's someone else, right? He's not doing it to benefit himself, this other person. He's saying, I know that the store owner, separated Trumot and Ma'asrot. So Rambam says, we could have thought that even Motzei Shabbat, we could rely on his testimony and keep eating even after Shabbat is over, because why would this guy, lie to me? He has no invested interest. So maybe we could have thought that Motzei Shabbat that could have kept on eating without separating Ma'asrot. So the Hidush is really of the Sefer, of the second half of the Mishnah, that even on Motzei Shabbat, we're not allowed to continue eating based on his testimony. Of course, when we talk about he needs to separate Trumot and Ma'asrot, like we said earlier, Rambam mentioned it earlier and mentions again in this Mishnah that we're talking about when it comes to Demai, you need to separate the Terumat Maaser and the Maaser Sheni.